Hi, folks. New video, a little bit of review, and then a couple of new tools that we're going to try out. Um, just for your information, I have some construction. There it is, taking place in the house right now. So you're going to hear the occasional banging of hammers and running of saws in the background. So I hope it's not too annoying. Um, but anyway, this is the picture that we're going to start with. As you can see, hopefully, this is the Photopia site, photopia.com. Um, this is the starting picture that I'm going to give you, and this is how it will look at the end after it's been edited. Basically, what I've done here is used a variety of these adjustment layers over here in conjunction with a mask, which is connected to each adjustment layer, to control which areas of the picture are being affected by various different adjustments, and controlling the light and dark values within each area individually. So this happens a lot with a lot of pictures where you might have, so this is what it looks like straight off of the camera. This picture, by the way, is available right here on our Canvas page. This is the file that you're going to want to download, so you can right click on this and click Save Image, and then you can go to photopia.com, do File Open, and open that exact file. You do not have to use this file if you don't want to. You can use this picture, but if you have your own photos that you want to use, that's even better, or if you want to find a picture from online. I chose this picture. This is a picture I took in Colorado. I chose this specific picture because it's a very beautiful subject. It's a very beautiful place. It was a sunset over the Rocky Mountains, but it is not a very good photo. It is way too gray, very low contrast, and the colors are really dull compared to what it really looked like that day. This is a very, very dull photo. So what I've done here is made a variety of adjustments to get it closer to what it looked like in real life. So this is closer to what it would have been if you actually saw it when you were there. So the various adjustments are working to darken the sky and lighten up this sort of middle area, and then lighten up the bottom area. So each area of the picture is getting its own separate adjustment that's basically whatever it needs. Okay, so this happens a lot when you take pictures with pretty much any kind of camera. The camera is not very good at capturing both the really bright areas of the scene and the really dark areas of the scene. So usually your picture will either be too dark in some areas or too light in other areas. So what we have to do is alter different areas of the picture individually so that every part looks as good as it can. Okay, so this is the finished image. You can download the starting image from here, and here. So I'm going to just go ahead and delete. Actually, let me just open it again. How about that? So I'm going to open it. Here is the starting picture. Looks just like that. So here's what you're going to start with. Now, what I am going to do here, you will hopefully remember from last time. Over here on our layers palette, down here at the bottom, is this little icon that has this little black and white circle on it. That if you hover on it, you'll see it says New Adjustment Layer. Okay, so the adjustment layers are what we use for adjusting light and dark or colors in our pictures. If you remember last time, we used this hue saturation adjustment, and I adjusted the hue. Okay, maybe adjusted the saturation as well. Okay, and then what we did was we clicked on the mask portion. So remember, this is the adjustment right here. This is the mask right here. So this little white square means that the entire picture is being affected by this adjustment. Okay? If I wanted to limit my adjustment to only one area, like let's say I wanted to make the sky red, but I want everything else to be back to its normal color, all I have to do is grab my brush tool, which is right over here, make sure that I'm using black. The color on top here is black, so that means I'm painting with black, and then just start painting with the black. Okay, so any area that I paint black, remember, goes back to its original color so that it is not being affected by the adjustment. Okay, so I've painted the entire bottom of the mask. You can see it right here. The bottom of the mask is painted black. The top of the mask is white. So that means that as I make this adjustment, it's only affecting the areas of the mask that are white. So in this case, it's only affecting the top of the picture or the sky. Okay, so that's review from last time. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this, and here's what I'm going to do. So I have my background layer selected, and the first thing I want to do is I want to darken up this sky. Okay, so the adjustment that we're going to use, again, come down here to the bottom, click the new adjustment layer icon right down here. So these four right here, brightness, contrast, levels, curves, and exposure. Pardon the sawing in the background. I know it's annoying. These four adjustments right here are for changing light and dark. Okay. These adjustments down here are for changing color. Okay. So right now I'm only concerned about the light and the dark. Generally speaking, brightness contrast is the easiest one to understand, but it is the least effective and the least powerful of these tools. Okay. So as I adjust this, it doesn't give me a ton of control over exactly. I'm going to pause. Sorry, I had to pause it there for a moment. I had a Nerf war that was storming through my room here. So anyway, this is my brightness contrast control. It's really simple, but the truth is it's not very good. It doesn't give you very good control and doesn't really allow you the control that we want when we're editing with a photo. So I'm not going to use this. So I'm showing you that as what not to do. Okay. So here is my adjustment layer button, and the one that I want to use is curves. Okay. Levels is also a pretty good one, but I'm trying to just keep it simple right now, and we're just going to use curves. So curves is the best tool for adjusting light and dark. Okay. And basically all you have, I mean, this can be a little bit confusing to look at. What we're looking at back here in the background is what's called a histogram. Okay, the histogram shows you how much dark and how much light is in the picture. This histogram is showing me that there's a lot of very, very dark areas, but nothing that's really black. So the left side of this represents black, the right side represents white. And what this histogram is showing me is that there's not really any black in this picture because of the way this falls off. There's a lot of very dark grays. There's not really any middle values. And then there's a lot of lighter values, but not really any pure white. Okay, so this is why we have this very gray looking photo. All right, there's not any black in it. There's not really any white in it. And there's a lot of really dark grays down here and a lot of bright grays up here. So to make an area darker, I click on the line and pull it down. Okay. To make an area lighter, I click on the line and pull it up. Okay. So this is called curves because it allows you to create a sloping curve that controls the light and dark values of your picture. Okay. The most simple way to use this tool is just to remember, pull it down to make colors darker, push it up to make colors lighter. Okay, that's the simplest explanation. A little bit more advanced explanation is that the left side controls the dark areas, the right side controls the light areas. So I'm going to just focus right now on the sky. Okay. In fact, I'm even going to zoom in a little bit and just look at that sky like that. Okay. So if I click in the middle and pull this down, everything gets darker. Okay. If I move it up, if I move it up, everything gets lighter. You saw something weird happen right there. If you click at multiple points on this line, sorry, I had to pause there for a moment. Had some noise again in the background. So if you click in various places on this line and move it around, it does all kinds of weird, crazy stuff. Okay. Generally, I'm not going to want to do that. So if there's a point on the line that I don't like, I just have to grab it and pull it off the line, and then it will disappear. So if I just drag these little points here off the line, it disappears. Okay. So right now I just have one point on my line. I can click it and move it wherever I want. Okay. Again, if I move it up, colors get lighter. If I move it down, colors get darker. Okay. So remember that the left side of the curve represents the shadows. The right side of the curve represents the highlights. Okay. So what this means is something pretty cool. It means that I can make the shadows darker by pulling the left side down, and I can make the highlights lighter by pulling the right side up. Okay, so by doing that, I've increased the contrast a lot. What I've done is made the dark parts of the picture much, much darker, the light parts of the picture much, much lighter, and the middle parts of the picture I haven't really changed very much at all. Okay, um, so I'm going to focus just on the sky. I'm not going to worry about anything that's down here because I'm going to mask it all out. So all I'm doing right now is I'm looking at the sky. And what I want is I want that sky to look really cool. Okay, so I want the bright parts of the sky to be pretty bright, like this. But then I'm going to grab this point and I'm going to slide it. I want only 2 points here on my line. Okay, I'm going to take this point here and I'm going to slide it over to the right. Okay, and you'll notice what happens. My sky starts to get a lot more detail within it, and it starts to look a lot more moody and a lot more contrasty. Okay, so I'm kind of making an S shape with my curve here, and what that's doing is it's darkening the darker parts of the sky and brightening the bright parts of the sky. Okay, so here's what it looked like before, and here's what it looks like after. Okay, so this is a very strong effect. I wouldn't necessarily have to make it this bold, but it's one route you can take. So here's my sky adjustment. Okay, so this layer is affecting right now the entire picture, but I want to make it so it only affects the sky. So just like we did last time, I'm going to grab my brush, make sure I'm using black, and then I'm going to paint. Whoops, I just tried to paint something, and I got this error that says layer is not editable. Layer is not editable. Don't be surprised if that happens. What that means is I currently have clicked on this part of the layer. I need to make sure I click on this part of the layer. So this is the mask. Okay, sorry, I paused again. So this is my mask. I'm using my brush. I'm painting with black, and I've made sure that I clicked on the mask as opposed to on the regular layer. So when I click on the mask area and start painting, you see what happens. It is taking this every area that I paint, it's going back to the way that it looked before I made the adjustment to the sky. Okay, so I'm going to try to paint near the edge of the mountains here. Right now my brush is really big, so if I try to paint in this area, it kind of goes into the sky a little bit. That's not the end of the world, actually, and for a sky, it's generally okay if the lower area of the sky is a little bit lighter, because that tends to be the way that it actually looks in nature anyway. So as long as it's a nice, smooth, seamless transition, it'll look great. So here is my before and after. Okay, let's do it again. This time I want to adjust this middle area. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did before, except this time I'm just going to pay attention to the center area. I actually missed a spot right over here that I don't care for, so I just want to fix that, just like that. Okay. So again, click my adjustment layer button. I'm going to click on curves. In this time, I'm going to focus on this area. Okay. So in this area, I want to kind of brighten up the light parts of it, but also darken the dark parts of it. Okay. So again, I'm kind of making sort of an S shape to my curve. So I'm going to click on the left side and pull it downwards, like so. Again, ignore the sky and ignore the bottom because it's all going to be masked out anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So left side, I'm making a little bit lower. Right side, I'm going to pull up. Okay. Now, what is going to end up happening is it's not going to look very good on my first effort. It's like going to be either way too dark or way too light. So what I'm going to do here is kind of shift these points around until I like the way this middle area looks. Okay. You don't have to get it exactly perfect on your first try. We can always adjust it more later. But what I'm looking for is a nice, vibrant, contrasty area here in this middle section. So I think this looks pretty good over here. I'm going to end up having to adjust this area separately because it's too dark, but I think that works. Okay, so again, click on my mask, make sure I have the mask selected, use my brush, and paint black in the sky and on the ground below. Okay, so if you look at my mask here, you'll see that I painted black at the bottom and I painted black at the top. So what that means is this adjustment is only affecting the middle area of the picture. Okay, so my first adjustment is affecting only the sky. My second adjustment is affecting only the mountains in the middle. Okay, let's make another one. I'm going to brighten up this area a little bit. In fact, I'm going to end up brightening this whole bottom section, so I might as well just do that all together as one layer. So here we go again. Click on my adjustment layer, click on curves. So you'll notice now I have 3 of them. Curves 1, curves 2, curves 3. So this time I'm only worried about the bottom area here. Most specifically this black area here on the right, or this dark area on the right. So again, I'm going to raise up the right side, and I'm not really going to darken it too much because it's already plenty dark. I'm more trying to get a little bit more light into that area, like so. I think that's much improved. Okay. Once again, I don't want this adjustment to affect up here. So I take my brush tool, make sure I'm using black. By the way, let me just explain this very quickly. If you realize that you're actually accidentally painting with white, or if you're trying to paint and nothing seems to be happening, it's very possible that you're painting with white. You just want to make sure that, or just understand that you're always painting with the color that's on top. Okay, so the color, whichever one is on top here, is called the foreground color, and as you paint with it, that is the one that you're painting with. So now I'm painting with black. So I'm going to paint now with black everything in the whole top area of the picture except for my hill over here on the right. Okay, so you'll see now. Let me turn everything off. So here's my first adjustment. Get that cursor out of the way. It's kind of annoying. So here's my first adjustment. Makes the sky darker. Looks like that. Here's my second adjustment. Makes the middle of the picture more contrasty. So it's darker in the dark parts, brighter in the light parts. Okay, here's my third adjustment, and this one is affecting the whole bottom half of the picture essentially, and that kind of brightens up that color in the whole bottom half. Okay, I'm going to do one more adjustment just for the area right here in the front. Adjustment layer, curves. This one I'm going to really pop that contrast. Okay, I want that area there in the front to really be bold and contrasty and vibrant. Okay, you'll find that as you increase the contrast using curves, it also makes the colors more vibrant. So again, that adjustment doesn't look very good in the rest of the picture, but all I'm looking at is this area down here. Okay, I don't care about how anything else looks at the moment. Okay, so click on my mask, grab my brush, make sure I have black, and now paint the whole top part of the picture black. And then this is kind of when the magic happens, when everything comes together and all the pieces are appropriately adjusted. Okay, so there is the finished product. I might still even decide that I want a little bit more brightness down here, possible. I can still adjust this. Okay, you are not at this point stuck. You can go back and adjust any of these adjustments and refine them if you want to. Okay, so here again is my starting image. Looks just like that. Pretty dull. Okay, my first layer, darken the sky. Second layer, brightened the distant background. Third adjustment, brightened the whole lower half of the picture, and my final adjustment popped that contrast down there in the front. Just for fun, I'm going to do one more, and I'll just show you how quickly I can do this. I'm going to just boost that brightness a little bit more in the front, like that. Brush, mask, mask. Okay. All right, so there's my final adjustment. So I added one more at the very end there to just brighten up this area right in the front. Okay, so before, after. Cool, right? So that's it. What I would do at this point is go to File. I would say, if I do save as PSD, this is a Photoshop file that you can open up with Photoshop, which is awesome if you have Photoshop. In this case, I don't want to save it as a Photoshop file. I want to choose Export As and choose JPEG. Okay, once I click that, it's going to say Save for Web. It's going to ask me about a bunch of settings, none of which I care about. All I have to do is click Save. And there it is. So this will save in the same folder that you originally downloaded it to. Okay? That is what you are then going to turn in on Canvas. So in your Canvas, you'll see the bright blue button up here that says Submit Assignment. Click that. Make sure that you select your edited version of the file and turn it in. That's it. Peace.